Seasonal depression is upon us. That's a terrible way to open up a video. Kim here to help you punch depression in the face. Ha! I'm an author, performer, and motivator. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the fun and/or butt kicking. Sometimes I'm sad. But today I'm going to tell you how I make myself not sad. Depression is like a consistent entity lurking in the shadows, like a jealous ex-boyfriend who just won't let it go and is committed to destroying everything good in your life. Sometimes it's the little things that keep depression away, and these are some of my little things. Obligatory disclaimer, I am not a therapist, I don't have a degree, I am not a mental health care professional in any sort of way. And these are the things I do to keep depression at bay, not to get me out of a depression when it's in full swings and I'm really sunk into the dark place. These are the things I use to deter the depression. Okay, here's how I practice self-care and try to prevent depression. Let's start with food and drink, because who doesn't like to eat their feelings? My first tip is to hydrate. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but honestly, if you keep yourself hydrated, you're going to feel better physically, which is going to help you feel better mentally, emotionally, in your brain, mind, soul, whatever. A glass of water a day, guys. Yes, you need more than that, but start somewhere. Sometimes it's best to just start with some water. I always have Gatorade on hand all the time. I have Gatorade in my purse, I have Gatorade in my work bag, I have Gatorade sitting next to me when I'm working at home. Wherever I be, there be Gatorade. Hydrate. Another thing I like to do is to just sit back with the perfect cup of tea or coffee. Just a nice, calm, delightful cup of tea. When it's mixed perfectly and the exact right temperature, it is euphoric. Coffee also at the right temperature and the perfect strength. Everything is better when I have a cup of coffee or tea. That makes things a little easier to handle. Another thing I really like is fancy coffee. Latte, mocha, cappuccino, whatever. I actually have my own espresso machine because I am a coffee snob. When I sit there and blend the perfect coffee drink that's exactly right for me, that's like a luxurious sort of treat. This nice just moment that's extra special. I don't drink it regularly every day because it's not super great for you, but there are some days when I just need my coffee to be fancy and snobby. Another thing I reach for when I am not feeling my best emotionally is cookies. Yeah, cookies. Good cookies. None of this like Keebler Elf junk. A nice chunky chocolate chip cookie, double chocolate with white chocolate cookie. Even if it's a nice solid oatmeal raisin, I'm happy. A nice legit cookie or 7 is so just wonderful, especially when you pair it with a nice cup of tea or fancy cup of coffee. It is just a delight. Speaking of baking, watching baking competition shows is another sort of just nice thing that I do for myself when I need to separate myself from everything. The Great British Bake Off is my go-to. I'm very sad that there are only 4 seasons and I've watched all of them more than once. There is something about a baking competition show that I absolutely get lost in, not in a highly emotional way. Like, it's not like a dramatic TV show where I gotta know what's gonna happen next and it's really engaging and also totally stressing me out. That is not a helpful thing for me. Baking competitions don't really urge me to any sort of action. They don't evoke this huge emotional reaction from me. It's just a nice, calm, happy thing to watch. It always makes me feel a little relaxed. Ballet performances is another thing I like to watch. I'll watch some nice classical ballet right here on the YouTube. Documentaries on ballet, that kind of thing. I really love ballet. I used to be a dancer, so it's just like a nice nostalgic kind of thing for me. I do have to be careful because sometimes I'll get too reflective on my past and decisions I made or made wrong, and then I get a little, the technicalities and the art in it that I just love and have a great respect for, and it's nostalgic and warms my heart. Along the lines of nostalgia would be old cartoons. I'm talking the old Disney ones, the classic Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Donald, Goofy, that sort of like 80s Disney cartoon fun. It's nostalgic, it's my childhood. They are uplifting and happy and funny and wonderful. Another thing I'll watch is random trivia sort of things. Think like the Mental Floss List show, 27 random facts about koalas, that kind of thing. One of my major tools for getting out of a bad depression is to learn something new, and not in like a new skill sort of way, in like a research and learn about something way, so that I don't feel bad about myself when I can't master something immediately. Not that any regular human can do that, but you know, you're not exactly logical when you're depressed. So learning just random bits of information about stuff stimulates my brain in just the right way. It motivates me in the right way, and it just inspires me to learn more, which inspires me to take action, which inspires me to keep depression like far away over there. Another thing to go to is to watch comedy, specifically improv comedy or bloopers from television shows. That is just a thing that always makes me laugh, and you just aren't sad when you're laughing. Science. Improv comedy or television bloopers are just a thing I can always count on to make me smile and make me feel a little better, and to just put some joy and sunshine into my life, which I could always use more of. Oh man, on to music. Classic 90s boy band music. Yes, I have an NSYNC Pandora station, and it lifts my spirits in the blink of an eye. That is another thing I can always count on. And honestly, not necessarily boy bands, just like 90s music that I listened to in middle and high school. It just makes my heart so happy. Happy. All over happy. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, classic beginning Britney, a little bit of Christina. They're like my coming of age tribe. They were there for my formative years, and they impacted me. That's just what it is, and I love them for it, and I can go back to that music and just be instantly happier and feel better about my life, and it often leads to my next sort of tip for cheering myself up. Dance parties! A quick 5-minute dance party can shake almost any funk from me, especially if it is to, like, Everybody by the Backstreet Boys. That song does things to me. A dance party to just your jam will knock anything out. You cannot be in a bad mood when you are jamming out without a care in the world, busting out your greatest moves to your favorite band. You can't be sad when that's happening. You cannot. Going with a theme of stuff I just sort of like, flowers. I can look at flowers and feel better about everything. The world is a better place when you're looking at flowers. I feel better about my life choices when I'm looking at flowers. It's just nice. Honestly, I don't do this enough. I should probably buy more flowers or try growing some in a plant-like apparatus. I'm not really good at that though, so I'll probably get sad. I don't see flowers enough, and I really should work on that. Maybe that will be my New Year's resolution. Flowers more. They're just this little bit of nature that always makes me happy. So when husband does give me flowers, I will just keep them and then dry them upright as best I can so I can look at them as long as possible. Kind of like what I've done over here. I just really like flowers, and they just make my heart very happy. I also have a bit of a seasonal technique that I like to use. Do something Christmassy. This only works if it is actually Christmas time, because otherwise I just get sad it's not Christmas time. Picking a very specifically seasonal Christmassy thing to do, drink a nice, legit hot cup of cocoa, bake Christmas cookies, listen to Christmas music, have Christmas dance party. Some of these techniques intertwine, and there you go. Picking something specifically Christmassy to do always makes me feel really good, because I really love Christmas. So why not do something to just invoke that joy and merriment? Another thing that's guaranteed to cheer me up is playing with a cute animal. I have 2 dogs, so it's very easy for me to go and find a cute animal to give me love and attention. They are right there napping, usually. If I need a snuggle, they will give me a snuggle, and they are very good babies whom I love very, very much, and just petting them and loving on them and playing with them and cuddling them makes me happy. It makes most people happy. I believe there have been some studies done that say cats can legitimately lower your blood pressure. So there's that. Finding a cute animal and giving it some love and letting it love on you a little is gonna make any day better. Just better. Oh, just so much better. There are 2 people that I can count on to cheer me up with a nice little giggle. One of them being Ruthie, my niece. You've seen her several times. She's one of my favorite human beings. I call her every night, actually, on the phone, and we have a conversation about our day, and it always cheers me up, and it always makes me happy, and I will do it until the end of time because I just love her, and I love talking to her, and I love her insights and perspectives on things. As a 6-year-old, she has some great worldviews. She just can cheer you up, and she doesn't even have to try. The second person I like to talk to is my best friend in Florida, Jess. She can say things that will cheer me up before I even realize I need cheering up. I'll read a text from her and it'll make my day infinitely better. And then I'll realize that I was kind of like blah feeling before I talk to her. And then I'm like, wow, my life's better because I have her. She's just very helpful. She and I can just converse and things are better without even having to actually talk about anything. Yay for best friends. Speaking of best friends, books. Reorganizing a bookshelf is a funny little way that I can cheer myself up. About monthly, I go through a bookshelf and will redo the entire thing. And when you have like 32 bookshelves, you can always find a shelf that could be redone. I will just pull books from a shelf and put them back in a different way. I'll switch books from one shelf to another. I'll put new little knick-knack things on them with them, whatever, and just make it pretty and fun in a new way. I can look at it like a fine piece of art and feel better about a lot of things. It's weird, I know. I didn't say that these were like conventional ways to cheer yourself up. They're just things that I do that work, and that works. Speaking of organizing, if I pick a certain place and just fix it and organize it and clean it all up, I usually feel better. Most often that is my desk because it gets cluttered and crowded and heavily populated with many a project and notes and things. If I take 15 minutes and just clear it all out and throw away what needs to be thrown away and stack and pile and arrange and put away everything, wipe it down, make it look nice and feel nice. Once that's done, I'm not only feeling better about my life, but I am suddenly much more productive because now I have space to work. Weird, I know. Instant mood cheerer upper. Oh, another thing that I do in terms of like planning and organization is to plan a trip. Husband and I travel, it's our hobby, it's the thing that we do. Sadly, we have not done it a lot lately because I've been like crazy workaholic person. Even if I don't put a date to it, if I rummage around the internet for neat places to visit that I could actually visit realistically, hooray! It's fantastic. It's wonderful. It gives you some dreams and goals and it gets you kind of excited about stuff, especially if you find budget places because then you're not thinking, oh man, that'd be cool, but I'd never afford to go. For example, if you are in the US and you Google cheapest places in the US to visit, you can learn all kinds of stuff about really neat places that are super inexpensive and very near to you so that you could actually go visit them and do a tiny bit of traveling. That's nice! Traveling is just really great for the soul, like it really just rejuvenates. I always recommend travel if you're able to do it, but a surefire way to cheer me up is to find a place and do a little research and figure out what I would do if I were to visit there. It just kind of teaches you something and you get a little excited about something, and that is great. Another sort of weird thing that I do is wearing something ridiculous on my head. There have been many instances on this channel where I've worn something just ridiculous on my head. Sometimes I just do it to feel a little goofy and silly and funny and ridiculous, which just lightens my mood. It just helps me not take life so seriously. If I can put it on my head, I'll probably put it on my head. I just put things on my head a lot. If I am not feeling 100% my emotional best and I have an appointment or I have a meeting or I have a something that I absolutely have to do and I begrudgingly get out the door and go to it and am grumpy. If I dress like a little bit nicer than I normally would, I feel better about it. I will put a lot of thought into my outfit and really think about something and really make sure that it fits me, that it's slightly comfortable, and that I feel good and confident in it. I just do better that way. I just have more confidence and happiness than if I didn't care. It just puts a little spring in my step when I know I look good. These are the things that help me fight that depression cloud who's insistent upon ruining my happiness. Be sure to share this video with those who may need it. Clickety-click the share button down there and send it off to your preferred social media. And consider subscribing to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. And make sure you click the little bell notification so you don't miss out on any of the fun and/or butt kicking. Thanks for watching!